Hi guys. So today I'm gonna do a glaze demo on a bowl. Okay, something that is open, on surface versus the small cups. So it's really hard to put into the bucket to glaze them. Therefore, there's other way to do it. And then another way of is sometimes I put the wax on the bottom, just because remember previous glaze demo wax actually can resist the glaze temporary until 500 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to use that to wax the bottom. Okay. So again, now I need the glaze inside and outside. But before I do that, I'm going to come right here using the wax. You notice a wax jar like this right here. It says wax. Okay. And then we usually in the studio we put the color in there so you can actually see your wax dry out. So I'm going to do this right here. So basically using a bending wheel, have a steady hand, and just kind of gently runs it, okay? Wax is pretty tricky. If you are very sloppy, any place that if your hand is sloppy, if you like touch everywhere, and that means if I touch it right here with my wax hand, that means that part's going to be resist. Don't have a glaze to put on that, and you don't want that, okay? So therefore, just make sure be clean and then be cleansy about using the wax, okay? So now, after this wax is done, you always want to rinse your wax with hot water so they can really take it off, or you wash immediately, okay? So, yes. Now, you know what? I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to wash it yet, okay? So, now, I'm going to glaze the top. I'm going to make sure the top is dry again. This is not quite dry. Right here is dry, but here is still wet. And I have no patience, and I want to be done now. So anyhow, so I'm gonna glaze inside with a pot first, okay? Inside with the glaze. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm gonna let them dry a little bit. I'm gonna put a little somewhat white glaze on the surface, okay? White glaze, and I'm gonna show you how to do this wax resistance kind of stuff pattern, okay? And also these is kind of fun too. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I have a various way of doing carving. It's really fun. You can really draw at thin lines if you're picking a right glaze. Okay? So first, I'm going to use, since I already have Ventura white, I'm going to use the Ventura white. And I'm very lazy, don't want to go get too far. So here you go. Alright, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the cup that I just used earlier with the Ventura white. I'm getting very messy. Okay. So, I'm going to put it right here. Did I rinse the pot? Dang it. Make sure I rinse it, because if it's not, I'm going to have a whole bunch of crawl. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to over-rotating like this, and I'm going to gently pour them out. If I missed it, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Make sure the wax is dry, because now I'm touching it. Or just let them dry a little bit, and I can come back, touch up just a little bit right in there. Okay? I see some particle right there, probably because the glaze didn't mix very well. So that's my bad. But, it's okay. So I'm going to do it right this. I'm going to actually let them dry a little bit. While I'm letting it dry, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Basically, the process is, after my first coat on top, I use the wax that I have, okay? I put it on the surface. So that means I'm protecting the first layer. Then I use a needle tool to go through it and to carve them out. And then I I put it in the second layer of the glaze. And that's how I do all these drawing right here. It's really fun, very simple, very easy. Alright, so that's one way of doing it. So while I'm waiting for the glaze to dry, actually I'm gonna coat it. I kind of like the emptiness right here. I'm actually gonna leave it. So I'm gonna glaze outside again. I noticed this glaze is slightly thick. I'm gonna do it again. I read it to be too thin than too thick, because too thin, I can dip it again. Too thick, I'm done. I need to wash them off. Okay? So now how should I coat it outside? Now my wax bottom right here, wax bottom. Now the bottom of my foot is all dried out. I mean, the wax is all dry. So what I would do is I'm gonna take this. You can see right here, I have a little device right here. So what I'm gonna do is I use the catching. I bring out a splash pen and a little bit of the device to help the help the pot to bring it up a little bit. So what I would do is I'm gonna take this. Okay, I'm gonna flip it upside down like that, very gently. Okay, bottom right there is a bending wheel, something that you rotate it. You can find it in the classroom. So what I would do is I'm gonna take one of the glaze right here. So I'm gonna put it right here. Again, make sure you stir the glaze. Come right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pour the glaze at the same time rotating. Voila, isn't that easy? Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to put it in the middle just for fun. There you go. There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So once you do that, I'll let them drip a little bit. And let them dry, because if your glaze is not dry, if you touch it, it's going to come out. So you don't want that to happen to you, okay? So you better wait. Patience. You wait, and then you will dry it out. And then once you dry it out, then you can take it out. Now what happened with the glaze that you poured it inside? Don't throw away. You put it back to the pots, okay? You put it back to, not the pot, you put it back to the glaze bucket you originally found them, okay? But if you happen, you don't remember which bucket that you take it from, I don't want you to guess it. I need you to throw them out. If you accidentally mix two glaze in the one bucket, which you're supposed to pour it back, clean it up, and then do the next one. If you accidentally put the second colors of a glaze into this pot right here, I would like you to throw away the whole thing. But talk to me first. I don't want you to throw like a half gallon and whole 1 gallon, nobody using it at all. Okay, so take this out. The only downside is because the here you go. So right here, I'm going to take this out, make sure I clean that. And this one, I will directly pour it back to the Ventura White where I'm coming from, okay? So I usually like to leave like my bucket kind of glaze open so I know exactly what I'm doing right here. So that's how you kind of glaze the bowl a little bit, and then go back and to touch up a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to carve this right here on the next one.